And what if I told you that within you, in the invisible depths of your own body, resides a fountain of eternal youth, a secret known to only a few, an ageless force that has been hidden for centuries waiting to be rediscovered? This force, this incredible source of vitality, has nothing to do with the latest miracle creams or trendy fitness fads. Instead, it lies in an energy that you generate every single day, an energy capable of maintaining your physical vigor, mental clarity, and personal magnetism. And here's the best part. It's free, readily available, and just waiting for you to tap into its transformative potential. For millennia, the ancient masters of the Tao and the alchemists from the wisest civilizations understood something that modern science is only beginning to uncover. Sexual energy, they believed, is the most concentrated and potent essence of vital force. It is not merely the instinctive impulse that drives reproduction, it is the very primal elixir of life itself, the fuel that powers the body, sharpens the mind, and helps to prolong the span of life. The Taoists referred to this vital force as Zhang, a form of sexual energy that flows from the lower abdomen. In its natural state, this energy has a single biological purpose: to leave the body to create another life. However, this is where the ancient secret was lost to time. Rather than allowing this energy to be constantly discharged, Taoist masters discovered the profound power of redirecting and recirculating it. If you learn to retain and elevate this energy, you can unlock its regenerative potential to create life not outside, but within. This powerful energy, when harnessed correctly, rejuvenates the body, strengthens the mind, and fosters a sense of spiritual fulfillment. This principle of internal alchemy, as taught by the Taoists, holds that by mastering the art of energy conservation, an individual can build an immortal body, not in the literal sense of invulnerability, but in the sense of reversing the effects of aging, preserving vitality, and ensuring a longer, healthier life. Those who practiced these ancient methods reported not just a decrease in the usual signs of aging, but a complete reinvigoration of their physical and mental states. Ancient teachings passed down through countless generations emphasize that simple yet profound practices could help one achieve this state of rejuvenation. Techniques such as testicular breathing, energetic massage, qi recirculation, and the activation of the internal energetic lights, referred to as sun, moon, and star, are integral to this process. These techniques were believed to help preserve the sexual essence, transform it into vital energy, and return it to the body's energy system, nourishing every cell and strengthening the body's life force. In this video, we will take a journey into the heart of this wisdom, revealing the ancient secrets that have long been hidden. We will explore how sexual energy can be transmuted into pure vital force, how this process helps to delay aging, boost the immune system, and sharpen mental clarity. Furthermore, we'll discuss how to integrate these techniques into your daily life, allowing you to cultivate longevity, vitality, and enduring youthfulness. If you have ever wondered how certain individuals exude a sense of magnetism, serenity, and boundless energy, even as they grow older, this knowledge is the key. True youth, as the ancients knew, is not a matter of external appearances, but of mastering the energy that flows through your very being. By learning to control and transform your internal energy, you can unlock the secrets to living a vibrant, youthful life, regardless of your chronological age. What you are about to learn is not just another quick fix or superficial technique. It is an ancient path of internal alchemy that has the power to transform every aspect of your life, your health, your energy, and your perception of time itself. To understand the full depth and significance of this knowledge, we must take a journey back to the ancient mountains of China, where the Taoist sages, with their meticulous observation of nature, uncovered some of the most profound truths about the human body and the forces that govern life. The Taoist masters sought to understand why certain trees lived for thousands of years, why some animals maintained their vitality and health throughout their entire lives, and why others seemed to wither and decay so rapidly. Through careful observation, meditation, and experimentation, these ancient sages arrived at an astonishing realization. The key to longevity was not merely in what we eat or how much we exercise, but in the conservation, cultivation, and refinement of our internal vital energy. They called this essence Jing, the fundamental force that sustains all life. This vital essence is primarily stored in the kidneys and is most prominently expressed through sexual energy. However, whenever this energy is wasted, whether through excessive sexual activity, unbalanced emotions, or unhealthy habits, the reservoir of vitality depletes, and the aging process accelerates. Master Sun Simiao, one of the greatest physicians of ancient China, famously stated, "The wise store their essence as the dragon stores its pearl. Whoever wastes their seed shortens their life." From this wisdom arose practices such as Jingong, the cultivation of sexual energy, and Naden, internal alchemy, which taught practitioners how to refine their sexual energy into Chai, vital energy, and ultimately into Shen, spiritual energy. This transmutation of energy ascended the spine, nourishing not only the physical body, but also the energetic and spiritual bodies. In parallel, in India, the yogic traditions of Tantra and Yoga spoke of this same transformative process. Yogis taught that when sexual energy, known as Shakti, is conserved and sublimated, it activates the Kundalini energy, allowing the practitioner to attain heightened states of health, spiritual enlightenment, and longevity. In both Eastern and Western traditions, whether in the Taoist alchemy of China, the yogic practices of India, or the European Hermetic traditions, sexual energy was revered as the cornerstone of physical, mental, and spiritual development. However, this sacred knowledge was not shared openly. It was passed down through carefully guarded lineages taught only to those disciples who had proven their maturity, discipline, and understanding. This is because when misused, the techniques could be more dangerous than beneficial. Now, as modern science begins to reveal the deeper truths of energy medicine, we find ourselves on the brink of rediscovering these ancient teachings and practices. It's time to remember what the sages knew all along. The true secret to vitality, youth, and longevity lies not in external remedies, but in the cultivation and transformation of the energy within. By learning to harness this potent force, you can unlock the door to boundless health, radiant vitality, and a life free from the constraints of aging. In modern times, with the commercialization and trivialization of sexuality, much of the profound wisdom surrounding sexual energy has been lost or relegated to obscure and hidden texts. As society moved further from traditional wisdom, the sacred teachings of sexual alchemy were either forgotten or misunderstood. Often reduced to mere myths or exotic rituals, the importance of sexual energy and its transformative power became obscured by the noise of modern life, where sexuality was commodified and disconnected from its spiritual essence. However, in recent decades, visionary teachers such as Mantak Chia have worked tirelessly to recover, adapt, and modernize these ancient teachings, offering them to the world in a form accessible to contemporary practitioners. They have bridged the gap between ancient wisdom and modern understanding, showing how these practices can be integrated into the busy, demanding world we live in today. Now you have access to this incredible knowledge. Understanding its history not only provides important context, but also honors a tradition that has the power to rejuvenate the body, mind, and soul. Imagine for a moment that your body is a living alchemical laboratory, a sacred temple where each cell, each organ, and every gland plays a crucial role in a masterfully designed energetic system. The secret to optimizing this system lies in the harnessing of sexual energy, a force more potent than any external source of vitality. Sexual energy, when refined and properly utilized, can become the fuel that powers every vital system within the body. It can nourish the brain, revitalize the organs, and keep the body's energy pathways clear and flowing. But if this energy is wasted, if it is constantly released without awareness or direction, it gradually depletes the body's reserves, draining your strength, causing premature aging and leaving you feeling fatigued and depleted. According to the Taoist teachings, sexual energy, known as zhang, is considered the body's most precious resource, its fundamental raw material, essential for life itself. This vital energy is generated in the kidneys and sexual glands and plays a direct role in hormone production, cellular regeneration, and overall vitality. From a modern perspective, we could equate this essence with the nourishment of the endocrine system, the intricate network of glands responsible for the production of hormones that regulate growth, metabolism, reproduction, and emotional well-being. But here lies the key. The body expends vast biochemical resources to produce sexual fluids. And when these fluids are released frequently without conscious awareness, the organism is forced to continually replenish them. This constant depletion leads to exhaustion of vital organs, such as the kidneys and adrenal glands, which eventually leads to symptoms like chronic fatigue, muscle loss, skin aging, hair thinning, and cognitive decline. However, if instead of releasing this energy, you learn to recirculate it, something extraordinary happens. This precious essence is drawn back into the body, where it nourishes the brain, spinal cord, organs, and glands, strengthening the entire energetic system. Taoist masters spoke of this process as the transformation of sexual essence into qi, and then the conversion of qi into shen, or spirit. The transformation begins with the body, but it extends to the mind and spirit, elevating the practitioner's entire being to a higher state of vitality and consciousness. How is this process achieved? Through a series of practices which we can break down into three key stages. Activation of sexual energy. The first step is to generate energy without reaching the point of climax. This can be achieved through conscious self-exploration or by gently stimulating the lower abdomen through deep breathing exercises focused on the Tian, an energy center located just below the navel. The goal is to awaken the sexual energy. Feel a subtle warmth or tingling sensation accumulating in the pelvic region and begin to connect with this energy on a deeper level. Ascending recirculation. The real alchemical magic happens in this stage. By contracting the PC pubicoccygeus muscle, the same muscle used to stop the flow of urine, and combining this with slow, deep breathing, the practitioner directs the energy upward through the spine. With focused intention and visualization, the energy is guided along the central channel, traveling from the abdomen up to the heart, and finally to the crown of the head. This pathway is known as the microcosmic orbit in Taoist practices. As the energy rises, it activates higher states of consciousness and vitality, nourishing the brain and rejuvenating the entire nervous system. Storage and transformation. Once the sexual energy has ascended, it is stored and distributed throughout the body's three treasures, the lower, middle, and upper regions. The lower region corresponds to physical energy and vitality. the middle to emotional balance and personal magnetism, and the upper to the pineal gland, mental clarity and intuition. By learning to redistribute sexual energy to these areas, practitioners can nourish their internal organs, enhance emotional stability, and expand their consciousness. This process not only rejuvenates the body, but also increases longevity, boosts immunity, enhances personal magnetism, and cultivates a deep sense of inner peace. A useful metaphor for understanding this process is that of a rechargeable battery. Most people live their lives in a state of constant depletion, unknowingly draining their energy without taking the time to replenish it. Sexual alchemy teaches how to re-inject that energy back into the system, recharging the body and mind, and raising one's life force in the process. Now that we understand the basic principles of cultivating sexual energy and its transformation, it is essential to explore the nuances that distinguish superficial practice from true internal alchemy. As the Taoist sages taught, the true power lies not just in the technique itself, but in the consciousness and sensitivity with which one approaches the practice. The quality of your awareness and intention can make the difference between a mere mechanical exercise and a profound spiritual transformation. One key concept that requires attention is the difference between accumulation and stagnation. Many beginners in sexual energy practices experience discomfort, irritability, anxiety, insomnia, or pelvic tension when they attempt to retain their sexual energy without proper guidance or awareness. This is because without understanding how to properly distribute the energy, it can accumulate in certain areas of the body, causing imbalance. Instead of being revitalizing, the energy becomes stuck, leading to physical or emotional tension. The Taoists stress the importance of learning how to circulate and balance the energy to prevent stagnation. Only through steady practice and increasing awareness can the practitioner learn to direct the energy with precision and harmony, cultivating a state of flow rather than accumulation. Thus, sexual energy is not merely a physical force, but a living, dynamic current that requires delicate attention and understanding. By learning to respect and refine this power, you can harness it to enrich your life on every level, physically, mentally, and spiritually. The wisdom of the ancient masters, once obscured by the passing of time, is now available to all who seek to live a life of true vitality, longevity, and inner harmony. The Taoists have long warned that sexual energy is a powerful force, much like water in a dam. If you neglect to open the gate and allow this energy to flow freely through your system, internal pressure will gradually build up, leading to imbalance and eventual collapse. In Taoist philosophy, this principle is central to the practice of sexual energy cultivation. It is not enough to merely hold on to this energy. It must be actively circulated and transformed. Conscious daily recirculation is essential to maintain vitality and prevent stagnation. The system needs continuous movement, like a river flowing through the body, nourishing every cell and maintaining energy without overwhelming it. Breathing deeply into the abdomen, visualizing the energy rising upwards, and engaging in energetic massage are all integral tools in ensuring that this flow remains unobstructed. Each gentle contraction during breathwork helps to channel the energy, like a radiant river circulating through the body. This process allows the energy to transform and nourish you without becoming excessive or stagnant. Equally important is the emotional quality you bring to your practice. If you cultivate sexual energy with anxious thoughts, guilt, or obsessive fantasies, the energy itself becomes contaminated. The purity of your energy depends not only on the physical practice, but also on your emotional state. The Taoist masters emphasize the need to practice with a peaceful and serene mind, breathing slowly and deeply and approaching the practice with reverence. If your thoughts are scattered, or if you carry emotional baggage during your practice, it will negatively affect the energy, lowering its vibrational quality. The quality of your emotional state directly influences the frequency of the energy you generate, and thus, your intention plays a crucial role in this process. Another vital aspect of energy cultivation is finding balance in the practice of retention and release. The Taoist tradition teaches that excess of anything disrupts the body's harmony. It is not about avoiding release altogether, but rather finding a balanced rhythm that works for you. The practice of retention is beneficial as long as it doesn't lead to emotional or physical exhaustion. A classical principle states that if, after release, you feel stronger and more serene, then it was done correctly. If, on the other hand, you feel depleted or drained, it signifies that the release was excessive and detrimental to your energy reserves. Regular self-observation and honesty with oneself are essential in determining what feels right, and maintaining a healthy balance is crucial. In addition to the energetic practices, the Taoist tradition stresses the importance of physical strength and well-being. Cultivating sexual energy is not just about internal practices, but also about strengthening the body to support the flow of that energy. The Taoists integrated practices such as qigong, stretching, mindful walking, and proper nutrition to sustain and enhance the flow of refined energy. A strong and flexible body serves as the perfect vessel for subtle energy, allowing it to move smoothly without loss. The physical body must be nurtured alongside energetic cultivation to ensure that the flow of energy remains harmonious and potent. Perhaps one of the most profound lessons the Taoists impart is the integration of energetic practices into daily life. True mastery of sexual energy is not limited to moments of stillness or meditation, but is demonstrated in everyday life. It is about cultivating greater energy, mental clarity, emotional balance, and overall well-being. As energy is refined and transmuted, it manifests in the way you interact with the world, how you handle challenges, and how you maintain vitality and youth. The wisdom of the Tao is not a distant theoretical concept, but a practical approach to living a vibrant and balanced life. This integration is the essence of energetic mastery, and it is the true fruit of practice. The advanced stage of energy cultivation can be summarized in 3 key Taoist principles: accumulate without stagnating, continuously move and circulate energy, ensuring that it flows freely without becoming blocked or stagnant. Refine intention, practice with a calm, focused mind, free of anxiety or negative emotions, so that the energy you cultivate is of high quality. Integrate body and life. Strengthen the physical body and infuse energy into every action, ensuring that the body becomes a vessel that can contain and direct subtle energy. Those who fully embrace these practices not only preserve their physical youth and vitality, but expand their energetic field, developing a natural magnetism and bolstering their immune system. These practices open the doors to heightened intuition, greater emotional serenity, and improved mental clarity. However, all wisdom, no matter how profound, only comes to life when practiced consistently. The ancient masters understood that transformation requires dedication and daily practice. The key to lasting change is not merely theoretical knowledge, but the embodiment of these practices in daily life. Simple yet powerful actions activate, refine, and distribute sexual energy, turning it into a wellspring of constant vitality and youth. To assist in this process, here are 5 essential practices drawn from Taoist alchemy and adapted to modern life that will allow you to begin experiencing the benefits of energetic mastery. Conscious abdominal breathing. Begin each day by sitting comfortably with your spine erect. Place your hands on your lower abdomen, just below the navel. Inhale deeply and slowly through the nose, feeling the abdomen expand like a balloon. Then exhale gently through the mouth. This practice, which can be done for 10 minutes each morning, activates the Tantian, the vital energy reservoir, and oxygenates the sexual organs while strengthening the nervous system. Over time, this practice will deepen your breath and calm your mind. Gentle perineal contraction. At any moment during your day, whether walking, sitting, or working, practice gently contracting the pubococcygeal muscle as if you were halting the flow of urine. Hold the contraction for a few seconds, then release. Repeat this action for sets of 10 to 20 repetitions. This exercise strengthens the lower energetic seal of your body, preventing energy leaks and stimulating the circulation of sexual chi toward the spine. As the Taoists say, it ignites the lower cauldron, revitalizing the entire system. By incorporating these practices into your life, you begin to awaken and refine your sexual energy, aligning your body, mind, and spirit. These techniques foster longevity, health, and vitality, as well as a deeper connection to the inherent energy that lies within you. Third, the inner smile and organ massage are practices that can have profound effects on your vitality and well-being. Once a day, take a moment to lie down or sit comfortably, ensuring you're in a calm, relaxed state. Direct your attention inward to the internal organs that sustain you: your heart, lungs, liver, spleen, and kidneys. Visualize yourself smiling inwardly to each organ, sending them a sense of appreciation, love, and gratitude. Imagine the warmth and positivity of that smile infusing every cell and tissue of your organs, soothing and revitalizing them. This simple act of inward smiling cultivates an emotional connection with your body and helps to harmonize your energy. Afterward, using warm palms, gently massage the kidney area in the lower back. This area, often referred to as the reservoir of vitality, holds the Jing, the precious sexual energy that sustains life. By massaging it with warmth and gentle care, you activate and strengthen this reservoir, ensuring that your vital essence remains abundant and vibrant. This massage serves not only to invigorate the kidneys, but also to promote overall energy flow throughout your body. Fourth, the practice of energetic recirculation, also known as the microcosmic circuit, is an essential part of the internal alchemical process. This practice is best performed before sleeping or after completing your abdominal breathing exercises. Begin by slightly contracting the perineum, the area between your genitals and anus, which is home to powerful energy centers. As you inhale, visualize the energy moving upward along the spine to the crown of your head. This upward movement stimulates the central nervous system and activates higher energy centers within the body. As you exhale, feel the energy descend down the front of your body, back to the abdomen. Repeat this cycle of breathing and energy circulation 9 to 36 times, depending on your comfort level. This technique is powerful because it redistributes the sexual energy throughout your body, preventing stagnation and ensuring that all of your organs, glands, and brain are nourished and revitalized. It helps to harmonize and balance your internal energy, creating a sense of fluidity and health throughout your being. Fifth, conscious moderation and personal rhythm are key to maintaining a balanced, healthy energy system. It is important to listen to your body and not force yourself into a rigid practice or mindset. Sexuality is not something to be suppressed or repressed. Rather, it is about finding a balance and honoring your body's natural rhythm. If you choose to release sexual energy, whether with a partner or through self-exploration, do so without compulsion, with full presence, and with conscious intention. Pay attention to how you feel afterward and adjust your practices accordingly. By being mindful of your energetic state, you can determine how often to release and when to conserve, ensuring that your energy remains in balance and that you are always in tune with your body's needs. Remember the Taoist principle: that which is accumulated but does not flow becomes stagnant and leads to illness, while that which is released without control depletes your vitality. The key is to find balance. By integrating these 5 practices into your daily routine, you will cultivate radiant vitality, a calm mind, and a rejuvenated body. You do not need to spend hours in meditation or go on secluded retreats. Rather, you can experience profound transformation through small, conscious acts that, when performed consistently, will gradually but deeply transform your energetic field. Throughout this journey, we have explored a knowledge that, though ancient, is deeply relevant today. The wisdom we have uncovered resonates with an urgency and clarity that cannot be ignored. It is a timeless secret. Sexual energy is the most powerful and potent source of life. Whoever consciously masters it has the ability to master their youth, their vitality, and ultimately, their destiny. In our modern world, where external solutions such as expensive treatments, pharmaceuticals, and fleeting pleasures are often overvalued, this ancestral wisdom reminds us of a vital truth. The true fountain of rejuvenation lies within. It is not found in the latest anti-aging technology or miracle product, but in how we cultivate, conserve, and refine our vital essence. The ancient sages did not seek to escape the passage of time, but instead aimed to live it with fullness, vigor, and clarity, bringing their bodies and spirits to a state of mastery that seemed almost unreachable for ordinary people. Today, that key is in your hands. You now understand that sexual energy is not merely a biological impulse, but an alchemical elixir, an energy that can nourish every cell of your body, expand your mind, and awaken your spirit. Through simple yet profound practices such as conscious breathing, energetic recirculation, organ massage, and intelligent moderation, you can turn an everyday act into a sacred ceremony of self-healing and self-expansion. But beyond the techniques, the most important takeaway is a shift in perception. You are more than just a body that grows old. You are an energy alchemist, a potential master who can decide each day whether to expend or cultivate, disperse or nourish, age prematurely or rejuvenate from within. The power lies in your hands, in your ability to consciously direct your energy. You have the ability to shape your experience and determine how you age, not only physically, but mentally and spiritually. Always remember, youth is not a stage of life, but a state of your energetic field. When your energy flows freely and harmoniously, when your vital essence is preserved and transformed, your body will radiate health, your mind will shine with clarity, and your spirit will exude serenity. If this message has resonated deeply with you, share this wisdom with others, expanding this energy so that they too can remember the path toward longevity and natural vitality. Subscribe to this channel, activate the bell, and like this video to continue exploring the teachings that have guided seekers of balance, mastery, and transcendence for centuries. Stay tuned for future videos where we will delve deeper into esoteric techniques, ancient teachings, and secrets that strengthen the body, awaken the mind, and elevate the soul. The journey of internal alchemy does not end here. It is an ongoing process. Each day is a new opportunity to distill vitality, expand consciousness, and step into your full personal power. May the light of your refined energy illuminate every aspect of your life. and may your path be filled with vitality, clarity, and peace. They say the deepest secrets aren't hidden beneath mountains or locked away in far-off temples. They're right here within your reach, tucked into the simplest daily actions, and you repeat them every day without realizing you're touching an ancient power. What if I told you that washing your face in the morning could cleanse not just your skin, but your soul too? What if this simple ritual comes from ancient practices passed down by sages who understood the universe's hidden design? What if every drop of water that touches your skin, every grain of salt that dissolves on it, serves as a tool to transform your energy? What you're about to learn isn't a beauty hack or some viral superstition. It's a quiet ritual from a time when body, mind, and spirit were one, when the face wasn't just a mask for the world, but a sacred map, a mirror of the soul, a vibrational antenna sending and receiving energy. That mirror gets clouded by unspoken emotions, swallowed words, absorbed glances, and the subtle residue of every interaction, thought, and judgment. The ancients knew this. They understood the face needed cleansing not just on the outside, but from within. And they used two fundamental elements, water and salt. This wasn't random, it was intentional. Water flows, cleanses, and purifies. Salt protects, structures, and elevates. Together they create a sacred code. Hermes Trismegistus, the wise sage who said, "As above, so below," taught that every ritual must start with purification. Not just any cleansing, but one that opens subtle pathways, awakens awareness, and aligns the body with its true purpose. The face was the starting point, because what you show the world begins with what you hold inside. This video isn't just about how to wash your face with water and salt. It will show you why this simple act can shift your energy. You'll learn about its mystical roots, symbolic power, and how it impacts your energy field. Plus, you'll get practical steps to make this sacred ritual part of your daily routine. If you're watching this, it's no accident. Something inside you is ready to remember. Get ready. The ordinary is about to become sacred, and your face will be the first altar. Since ancient times, water and salt have been seen as more than just natural elements. They're living forces, guardians of the invisible, gatekeepers connecting the physical world with the subtle realms. To truly understand the power of washing your face with water and salt, you need to let go of the modern mindset that reduces everything to just matter and function. Instead, see the world as the ancients did, a rich tapestry of living symbols, where every substance has a soul and every daily action unlocks hidden truths. In Egypt, the birthplace of mystery and Hermetic wisdom, purification was the first step toward the sacred. No seeker approached the gods or began deep meditation without first cleansing with mineral-rich water. Salt wasn't just for hygiene, it was a magical act, a way to reset the body's vibrational field. Hermes Trismegistus taught that the body is the temple of the soul, and every spiritual transformation starts with conscious connection to the elements. Facial cleansing was viewed as energetic reprogramming, a way to lift the veil the world places on you daily, allowing you to see again through the eyes of your spirit. But Egypt wasn't alone. In Hebrew tradition, ritual baths used running water, mixed with natural salts to restore purity after spiritual impurity. In India's Vedas, salt was sacred for absorbing negative energy, while water, called apa, symbolized the divine feminine, both life-giver and purifier. To the ancient Greeks, salt was a gift from Poseidon and a symbol of ancestral wisdom. Philosopher Empedocles called water one of the four eternal elements that make up everything, including the human soul. He taught that mixing water with other elements was a direct way to connect with the universe's hidden design. Even the Gnostic Gospels say the human face is the living image of inner light, to be purified like an altar, with water, salt, and intention. The face is where the inside meets the outside, where the soul shines through and life's marks are made. In many shamanic cultures, energy cleansing starts with the face. It's where the soul breathes out and where the looks, intentions, and judgments of others get absorbed. So washing your face with water and salt isn't a superstition or a passing trend. It's an ancient practice based on the deep understanding that the body, especially the face, needs to be cleared and reset. If the body is a temple, the face is its doorway, and every true ritual begins there. Think of the face, not as just skin, muscles, or features, but as a living symbol. It's the stage where your soul expresses itself and the mask where trapped emotions build up. It's an energetic interface, a two-way door between your inner self and the impressions the world projects onto you. Like any door, it needs to be opened, closed, and cleaned. Each day when you face the world, your face acts as both shield and sponge. It takes in looks, gestures, tension, and even thoughts that aren't your own. A frown that doesn't belong to you, a gesture not born from your truth. Gradually, your face becomes a storage place for unexpressed feelings, and like any full archive, it starts to distort. That's why water and salt aren't used randomly. Each has a specific role in this ritual. Water is more than just liquid. It's the universal feminine energy, the symbol of soul in motion and emotional flow. It responds to human intention, as Masaru Emoto's research shows. When water charged with purpose touches your face, it doesn't just clean, it reprograms. Water carries memories and can release them. Salt, on the other hand, is Earth's crystal, pure geometry, a solid structure that absorbs, orders, and transforms. It's the earth element in its brightest form, soaking up density, pushing away harmful energy, and restoring natural vibration. In alchemy, salt is a vessel for solar energy condensed into minerals. Together, water and salt form a sacred pair, the flowing and the solid, the cleansing and the protective, the drawing in and the structuring. They balance duality. When you bring this mixture to your face, you're not just washing your skin, you're activating a spiritual practice, harmonizing what the world has scrambled. The ritual starts with preparing the bowl, but it's not like filling a regular cup. It's about creating presence. Use a ceramic or glass bowl. Avoid plastic because it doesn't hold energy the same way. Fill it with warm, not hot, water. That comfortable temperature represents balance between action and rest. Add sea salt or Himalayan salt. Never refined salt since it's lost its natural energy. Now comes the key step. With full attention, scoop the water into your hands and gently bring it to your face. This isn't about feeling refreshed. It's about marking a doorway. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Notice the invisible energy waking up, the outside energies, borrowed thoughts, yesterday's memories, like a gentle vibrational caress from the water and salt. Feel emotional residue lift away as your subtle energy field realigns. Though simple, this act is a powerful statement. I free myself, I cleanse myself, I return to my true self. And here's where something important happens. Once your face is purified, it starts reflecting a new truth. It's no longer just the sum of learned habits or inherited feelings. It becomes a clear mirror attracting a new reality, different people, aligned opportunities, and experiences that match your fresh energy. Washing your face with water and salt every morning is like rebooting your system, closing the night's energy chapter and opening a clean channel for the day. Hermes said every beginner should start the day like it's the first day, and for that, the face must be clean, not just of dirt, but of old history. Once you commit to this ritual with intention, you'll notice a deeper transformation than expected. This simple act does more than refresh your skin or ease facial tension. It shifts your perception, your identity, how you show up in the world. The face isn't just what we present, it's what we absorb. Through our eyes, mouth, and skin, we take in not only light, but also others' judgments, desires, and emotions. In spiritual terms, these are psychic burdens, and they stick. They're invisible, but real. Like that heaviness you feel early in the morning, or the strange expressions you make in front of the mirror that don't feel like yours. Sometimes you barely recognize yourself, or see a distorted image shaped by what others have left behind in you. The depth here is this: the face doesn't only communicate outward, it reflects inward. What we show becomes what we believe. If your face constantly shows exhaustion, stress, or fear, even if unspoken, you start to believe it, and you live it. That's why washing your face with water and salt isn't just a surface-level routine. It's a reclaiming of your energy, a way to come back to your authentic self and wipe away false marks that have become part of your expression. When you cleanse with this ancient blend, you dissolve masks and break patterns that stuck without your permission. Modern spirituality often misses this secret. The body, especially the face, is a magic mirror, and like any mirror, it can get cloudy, reflecting a false image when covered by the dust of unconscious living. Here's another hidden gift of water and salt: their ability to erase emotional memories stored in the body. Emotions don't just live in your heart, they're held in muscles, skin, even bones. Every swallowed feeling, every unspoken word, leaves traces in your facial micro-expressions. If you never release these, you start to believe them as your truth. But with consistent practice, this ritual acts as a symbolic reset. Consistency is key. This isn't a one-day miracle, but a slow rebuilding of a new energy field, a vibration that's more truly yours. Over time, you'll notice changes. People see you differently, interactions feel smoother, and negative situations don't affect you the same way. Not because the world changed, but because you reordered your energy. That's vibration at work. You might also notice clearer dreams and mental clarity in the morning. A cleansed face becomes a symbol of a clear mind. The tension between your brows melts away. Your eyes seem brighter, not because of physical change, but because your inner light shines through without filters. And even more subtle shifts happen. Each time you perform the ritual, you step into a sacred space. It's no longer just washing your face. It's an offering, entering your own temple where you begin to remember: who are you? Where did you come from? What have you been carrying that isn't yours? What can you let go of? At this moment, water and salt become teachers, not just objects. The true power of ritual lies not in complexity, but in steady practice and conscious awareness. If washing your face with water and salt has sparked something deep inside you, don't let it stay theory. Make it a sacred habit, a daily practice that sets the rhythm for your inner life. First, give the ritual its proper space and time. Don't rush it or mix it with your morning toothbrushing or coffee. Do it before you face the world, before checking your phone, reading the news, or replying to messages, because this moment is your first connection of the day, and it should be with yourself. Prepare your space. You don't need an altar, but you do need quiet. If you can, light a candle. Let its flame witness your intention. Fill a bowl with lukewarm water, not cold, not hot, and stir in a tablespoon of coarse salt, sea salt, Himalayan salt, or fleur de sel. Avoid refined salt. It's lost its natural structure and energy. When you stand before the mirror, don't judge or try to fix what you see. Just watch. Recognize the presence before you. That's your soul in human form. Take 3 deep breaths, feel your body's weight, and come home to yourself. Cup the water in your hands and gently bring it to your face. Close your eyes. Don't rub. Let the water glide over your skin as if you're blessing or honoring it. As the water and salt touch your skin, softly say or think, I free myself, I purify myself, I recognize myself. Do this every day for 7 days. At first you might feel little, but by day 4 or 5, you'll notice something releasing, maybe deeper sleep, easier breathing, or subtle shifts in how others see you and how you see yourself. If you can, repeat the ritual at night, especially after emotionally heavy days filled with noise, crowds, or intense feelings. Your face acts like an antenna and needs rest. Salt dissolves what doesn't belong. Water brings back flow. You can also add a personal affirmation as your activation code. For example, my face reflects my truth. Or, I release what isn't mine and reclaim my essence. Choose words that feel like keys for you. Most importantly, don't let this ritual become automatic. Magic fades when the soul isn't present. Keep your intention alive, even if just for 1 minute. Make it your sacred minute. Remember, simplicity isn't weakness. It's purity, clarity, and strength. Make water and salt your daily allies, not as superstition, but as spiritual art. Each conscious cleanse tells the universe, I'm awake, I'm ready, I'm centered, and that changes everything. We live in a time when the sacred feels like it belongs only to ancient temples, dusty books, and forgotten languages. But the deepest truth is this: the sacred is right here, right now, in your body, your face, your breath, and in the simplest morning ritual. Washing your face with water and salt isn't just a habit, a beauty routine, or folklore. It's a way to remember that you are a temple, a gateway, an alchemy in motion. This ritual, passed down from the heart of Hermetic traditions, has lasted for thousands of years, not because it was forced upon anyone, but because it was truly felt. When a practice touches the invisible threads of the soul, it survives. Survives being forgotten, survives science, survives trends, and remains as a quiet seed waiting to be rediscovered by those who are ready. If you've made it this far, you are one of those people. This isn't just information, it's a transmission, a reawakening, a key once asleep in your energetic memory that has now been unlocked. Don't overthink it, don't try to analyze it, just feel it. Notice what's moving inside you right now: calm, curiosity, wonder. These are all part of the ritual. Now you understand that your face isn't just what others see, but a mirror where everything you experience, hide, or carry is recorded. By cleansing it with water and salt, you're not just refreshing your skin, you're freeing yourself. You're not just washing away dirt, you're inviting clarity and giving yourself permission to start fresh. In today's fast-moving world, that's an act of inner revolution. Do this every morning, not as a chore, but as an affirmation, a declaration of your personal power. You choose what energy you let in and what you send out. You decide which face you show the world, the one shaped by chaos or the one crafted with intention. And if this practice is already stirring something inside you, if you feel something opening, settling, or cleansing, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Send it to someone who needs it. Write in the comments, "My face is my temple and I am its guardian." Let that phrase be more than just words. Let it be your energetic signature, your vibrational seal. And if this inner journey has touched your soul, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and like this video. That way, we can continue exploring these forgotten but never lost mysteries together. Here, every word carries intention. Each video is a doorway, and you decide whether to step through. Water and salt will be waiting in your kitchen. The mirror will be ready before you each morning. All that's left is your full presence. And that, dear guardian, is true magic. What if I told you that one of the most transformative powers you can tap into isn't action, but inaction? What if true mastery over your reality starts not by asserting your voice, but by intentionally choosing silence? In a world overwhelmed with opinions, demands, and constant stimulation, ignoring has become a revolutionary act. But not just any kind of ignoring, it's the kind that's woven with wisdom. Ignoring like the wise do, out of awareness, compassion, and clarity. Most people think power comes from control, from reacting, from defending themselves. They believe their identity is confirmed every time they win an argument or put their words above someone else's. Yet, the ancient masters of the East, especially in the Buddhist tradition, taught something very different. They taught that the one who doesn't react is freer than the one who always responds. That anyone who refuses to waste energy on what doesn't deserve it starts to govern their inner world like a calm emperor. Imagine for a moment you're walking along a mountain trail. With every step, someone throws stones at you, hoping you'll stop, turn around, and fight back. But you stay silent and steady, and every stone just falls to the ground without touching you. Far off, the noise fades. The mountain stands unmoved by the wind. This is the art of wise ignoring. This video dives deep, not into the ego that insists on being right, but into the soul that longs for peace. We'll explore the subtle power of non-reaction, how Buddhism has taught for centuries the path to equanimity, and why not engaging is one of the highest forms of protecting your energy. We'll show you why you don't have to respond to everything, how to tell what deserves your attention and what's just trying to drain you, and how to build an unshakable mind in the middle of chaos. Because in noisy times, conscious silence becomes the greatest wisdom. Get ready to discover a teaching as old as it is powerful, a secret hidden in plain sight but understood by few. When ignoring comes from understanding, not indifference. It's a way of loving your peace. Protecting your peace means protecting your soul. When Siddhartha Gautama, the prince who gave up his kingdom, sat under the Bodhi tree, he wasn't seeking the noise of the world, but its silent heart. The Buddha, as he came to be called, didn't teach his followers to respond aggressively, win debates, or protect their social image. He taught them to see clearly, and when you see clearly, you stop engaging with what has no real substance. One of Buddhism's deepest teachings is detachment. But that doesn't mean shutting off your feelings. It means not getting tangled up in them. It means observing an emotion, a judgment, or criticism like you'd watch a cloud float across the sky. You notice it, accept it, and let it pass. This is key to understanding the spiritual power of ignoring others. It's not contempt, but inner mastery. Buddhists call this upekkha, equanimity. It's the crowning jewel among the four sublime states of mind, alongside compassion, loving kindness, and empathetic joy. Equanimity means staying centered even when the world shakes around you. It means ignoring not out of indifference or pride, but from compassion that keeps your energy from spilling into distractions that don't support your path. Take a historical example. When Buddha was confronted by provocateurs, he didn't get angry. He responded with questions. When insulted, he didn't retaliate, but smiled. When a man shouted harsh words expecting a reaction, Buddha simply said, "If someone offers you a gift and you don't accept it, who owns the gift?" In this way, the insult bounced back to the attacker, not through force, but emptiness. This approach was revolutionary at the time, even subversive, because while leaders and priests argued over status, Buddha taught that true freedom comes when you stop basing your identity on others' judgments. As the Dhammapada says, like a solid rock, the wise remain unmoved by praise or blame. The Mahayana and Zen schools of Buddhism took this wisdom even further. In Zen, the teacher doesn't respond with long explanations, but with silence, a gesture, or a paradox. They teach that wisdom isn't in the answers we give, but in the space we create between stimulus and reaction. In that space lies our freedom. So wise ignoring isn't a tactic to show superiority, but a path to the sovereignty of the soul. It frees us from the mask theater, where everyone wants to be right, and connects us with the bright center that watches without judgment, without reaction, without attachment. At the heart of Buddhist teaching is the image of the mind as a calm lake. When the lake is still, it reflects the moon, stars, and sky perfectly. But when you stir it or throw stones in, what you see is distorted. This metaphor reveals a core truth. When we react, we lose clarity. When we observe, we begin to understand. Wise ignoring doesn't mean closing your eyes or running from life. It's about protecting the purity of your inner lake. In a world full of stimuli, opinions, and reactive emotions, ignoring is not weakness, it's spiritual strength. Not passivity, but a conscious choice to not feed what doesn't build you up. Buddhism teaches that everything we perceive, through senses, other people's words, opinions, judgments, is impermanent, like echoes in an empty cave. The Buddha called this anicca, the impermanence of all things. So if insults don't last, why carry them as a burden for years? Why let outside noise control your inner state? Here's a key principle: cause and effect. In Buddhist thought, everything we experience comes from a cause and produces an effect. If we react to criticism with anger, we plant seeds for more suffering. But if we watch the emotion rise without acting on it, we break the cycle, we free our karma, and that in itself is a quiet revolution. Zen, the Japanese branch of Buddhism, deepens this teaching through a seemingly simple practice: zazen, seated meditation. It's not about escaping the world, but about watching your thoughts like clouds drifting across the sky. You don't cling to the clouds nor try to push them away by force. You simply breathe and observe. Over time, this practice naturally carries over into everyday life. When someone offends you, you don't react right away. You breathe, observe, and choose to act from presence, not impulse. A powerful example is the monk who, after being slapped, didn't respond. His disciple, shocked, asked why he didn't defend his dignity. The master answered, "What value is there in defending a self that has no real existence?" This simple statement reflects one of Buddhism's core truths. The ego is an illusion built from attachment to our perceptions. Ignoring what feeds the ego is a step toward true freedom. That said, this doesn't mean accepting abuse or violence. Buddhism clearly distinguishes between non-reaction and passivity. Wise ignoring includes setting healthy boundaries out of compassion, without hatred or revenge. It's the art of acting without being controlled by emotion, responding without getting trapped. A mind trained not to react doesn't become hardened, but lighter, like a lotus flower rooted in mud, yet remaining spotless. So when someone tries to hurt you, you don't play their game. When everything around you shakes, you become the steady center. That's the practice, that's the power. Mastering this doesn't happen overnight. It requires inner awareness, humility, and consistent effort. But each time you choose silence over automatic reaction, detachment over outside approval, you strengthen a rare and precious quality: mastery over your own energy. According to the sacred texts of Mahayana Buddhism, the Bodhisattva, the awakened being who chooses to stay in the world to help others, acts not out of noise, but from deep silence. This silence isn't a lack of words, but a presence so complete that no insult can penetrate it. At that point, ignoring becomes a practice as refined as the most delicate spiritual art. It's the invisible sword that cuts through the ego, the armor that protects the soul. In a culture obsessed with responding, constantly needing to voice opinions, prove points, defend positions, and persuade, ignoring becomes a revolutionary act. But here's an important distinction. Ignoring is not contempt, it's discernment. It's not about shutting your heart, but opening it wide enough that trivial things no longer sway it. Buddha taught that suffering comes from attachment, to recognition, to identity, to outside judgment. When someone ignores, criticizes, or betrays you, what really hurts isn't the act itself, but the story you tell yourself about it. I'm not enough, I'm rejected, I must defend myself. These stories are the ego's chains. The deepest form of ignoring is releasing those stories. It's not ignoring other people, but ignoring your own interpretation. Many Buddhist masters point out that true spiritual strength isn't about how many teachings or mantras you know, but about keeping your balance when the world falls apart. This is the practice of upekkha, one of the four sublime states, often translated as imperturbability. It's not emotional indifference, but a calmness that doesn't depend on what's happening outside. The art of ignoring also asks a tough question. How much energy do you waste reacting to things that don't deserve it? Every uncontrolled emotion, every repetitive thought, every impulsive response drains your life force. Buddhism teaches that preserving this energy is key to moving forward on the path to enlightenment. Ignoring, then, is a way to protect your inner sanctuary. There's an old Zen saying, "When the wise point to the moon, the fool looks at the finger." In other words, the more we focus on surface stuff, the criticism, judgment, passing opinions, the further we drift from deeper truth. Learning to ignore means learning to see the moon through the noise of pointing fingers, the distractions and demands. It's also crucial to realize that ignoring from awareness isn't disconnecting, but aligning. It's acting from your center, not from the edges. The monk who smiles at provocation does so not because he feels nothing, but because he understands peace doesn't depend on outside circumstances. By ignoring the attack, he embraces his practice, and that's compassion, not feeding the cycle of suffering. Often, the smartest thing you can do for yourself and others is to not respond on the same emotional wavelength that's attacking you. Rise up, breathe. Remember, you are not your emotions, not your passing thoughts, not the projections of others. Every time you decide not to react, not to get pulled in, not to respond from ego, you say, "I'm in charge of my temple." You honor the Buddhist truth that real freedom is born in the space between stimulus and response, and that space holds your deepest power. On the spiritual journey, ignoring is neither running away nor apathy. It's a higher form of self-care, a shield forged through discernment. But how can someone living an everyday life apply this wisdom without falling into avoidance or repression? Here are 5 key practices to help you develop the art of conscious ignoring without losing connection, without shutting down. First, silence as a sacred choice. Before you respond, pause. Take a deep breath. Notice the emotion that arises. Silence isn't emptiness, it's fertile ground where conscious responses grow. By ignoring certain triggers, hurtful words, provocations, or outside expectations, you're not silencing your voice, you're strengthening your inner throne. Make silence a daily habit. Start with just 5 minutes each day of simply listening to your breath. No judgment, no forcing. That inner space becomes your refuge when the world gets loud. Second, guard your energy. Not everything deserves your attention. Think of your vital energy like a sacred coin. Every thought you feed, every emotional reaction costs you. When you get caught up in pointless arguments or other people's drama, you drain your essence. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Does it build me up or tear me down? Learning to ignore isn't about being cold. It's self-love in action. Stop being an open field where everything just lands. Learn to be like the sky, vast, calm, and unshakable. Third, practice observation, the mirror of others. Whenever someone irritates you or projects negativity, ask yourself, which part of me is reacting? Am I really seeing them, or just my own unhealed wounds? Ignoring someone isn't denying them. It's recognizing that their judgment only has power if you hand over your identity. This practice turns automatic reactions into chances for self-discovery. The true wise person ignores because they understand that everything that affects them is part of themselves. Fourth, strengthen your spiritual center. When you're off balance, you wobble in any breeze. But when your center is grounded through meditation, reflection, prayer, or time in nature, you stand firm like a mountain in a storm. Create a daily ritual of connecting with the sacred, whether you call it God, emptiness, presence, or silence. That close connection with yourself builds a vibration that naturally pushes away anything not in tune with your higher frequency. Fifth, remember that ignoring protects what you're building. Every time you choose not to react, you're saying, "My peace is more important than your chaos." Ignoring from a place of Buddhist wisdom is a compassionate act. You don't let yourself get contaminated, and you don't let others keep the cycle of suffering going. Ignoring means looking with love and choosing not to get involved. When you live these practices, ignoring goes beyond defense and becomes an art. A way to return to your center, let go of the need for approval, and transform your life into a sanctuary of deep calm. Looking at the heart of Buddhist teachings and many other spiritual paths, we find a hidden gem, shaped by time and fueled by compassion. Inner freedom isn't born from controlling what's outside, but from mastering how we respond. And from that peaceful mastery rises the highest virtue. The power to ignore what doesn't really matter. Ignoring isn't contempt or arrogance. It's a refined kind of discernment, a language only those who've stopped fighting their ego and started listening to their soul understand. When you ignore wisely, you're not running from the world. You're choosing which worlds to live in inside yourself. On this journey, you've come to realize that ignoring can be more revolutionary than reacting, that silence can cut deeper than 1,000 words, and that giving up the last word isn't weakness, but a spiritual strength. When you stop reacting to outside noise, you begin to hear the quiet whisper of your true self. Remember that. The great sages, mystics, and enlightened ones weren't those who forced their way through, but those who mastered detachment. Buddha didn't ignore the world out of indifference, but because he understood that many voices are just echoes of unresolved pain. Ignoring doesn't harden the heart. It opens it only to what lifts you up. In a world full of non-stop stimulation, endless opinions and judgments, falling like acid rain, learning to ignore is a practice of mental hygiene, a gift to your soul. When you decide not to engage, not to respond to empty criticism, and not to chase outside approval, you create space for peace, focus, and growth to flourish. And you're not alone on this path. More and more people are waking up to the truth that not everything needs a response. Not every word deserves to enter our energy field, and that we can and should choose what truly resonates. That's inner sovereignty. So if this message has struck a chord with you, if these words have sparked some clarity, I invite you to do something simple but powerful. Subscribe to this channel to keep exploring transformative wisdom. Hit the like button if you feel this energy has helped you, and most importantly, share it with anyone who might need this quiet reminder. Peace isn't shouted, it's cultivated. We'll be back soon with more teachings that, like this one, don't aim to change the world from the outside, but from within. because the deepest change always starts with the perspective we choose. And sometimes the wisest perspective is the one that, with love, chooses to ignore.